Guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, August 13th, 2021. Friday the 13th. And welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be talking about dealing with hoarders when you source your materials. We're also going to be talking more about blocking troublesome buyers, maybe a little bit about Amazon returns. I have an interesting update to tell you about a cancellation that I declined last week. So we're going to talk about all those topics and your comments, questions, and concerns from last week's video. So that being said, let's get started right now with your comments, questions, and concerns. Talking about the eBay Open Online event, Jennifer V. wrote a large comment, very long, which I've truncated for brevity. My husband and I turned into the first day of eBay Open. We tuned into musical instruments since we sell refurbished band instruments. Completely unimpressed, and some people in the chat were just being rude and impatient with the speaker. Didn't tune in again. The one gem was that by the end of the year, they will have immediate payment for best offer resolved. Hopeful, but not holding our breath. We have an extensive block buyer list that grows daily. Just added 2 more right before your video. We average about 4 to 5 per week. I also noticed during the eBay Open Online event that there were some rude people in the eBay Motors presentation as well. Apparently, as you know, guys, there's always going to be some people that will never be pleased. On seller protections, Caleb Bay wrote, I would consider the current state of returns and protections to be fair and perfect, if not for the service metrics penalties. The ability to take half the money is currently running off the riffraff. They quit screwing around when they realize they may not get all their money back. Still plenty of people signing up to learn that lesson. I have been teaching 2 users a week as of late. On point. Duncan VR wrote a comment about blocked bidders. Joe, on my blocked bidders, it does not slow down your sales. My blocked bidders list is like a phone book after 17 years. Any member who acts fishy will get blocked and stay blocked. I had to block a couple of them last week, and sales are strong as ever. Also on blocked bidders, Rich Colby wrote in and said, Amazon is behind the times with regard to the block bidder list. They are so fearful of pissing off the buyers, they will never implement this like eBay. eBay keeps it real and helps the sellers where possible. That is one of the reasons I'll never leave. I agree with Rich Colby. I've always said eBay is a much better place to sell on than Amazon. Amazon is unforgiving. Unforgiving, I would never recommend selling there to any seller. That's my personal opinion. Dennis Copper wrote in a comment about me. I really like Joe's business sense on this video. It reminds me of all the old timers I grew up with when going into their stores. They knew the proper way of doing business and also know when someone, as Joe puts it, is dicking me over. I haven't heard that phrase in ages. I'll leave it to the imagination of others. Dan Frisco wrote in about how eBay seems to be pushing some high-ticket items. Just look at the eBay splash page after you log in. And what do you consistently see being advertised? Sneakers, watches, graded trading cards, and graded comics. Want to know why? High sell-through rate. That is why. With trading cards, many 20-somethings and younger people see it as an investment opportunity, which is a big mistake in my humble opinion. Yes, I've noticed that too, and a lot of people complained about how eBay Open online seemed to be geared to trading card sellers. Unbelievable. To such a point that on either the second or third day, Jordan actually apologized and said, listen, we've heard the complaints from you guys about us focusing too much on trading cards, and maybe we did go a little bit overboard, but we're looking to encompass all sellers. But like the rest of you guys, I totally feel they're too far over the top on trading cards, sneakers, and watches. And just so you know, the reason that they say they do this is because they say that buyers who buy those three items come back to eBay repeatedly and buy items in other categories. They call them top shelf buyers, and those are the people they're courting. Again, because they feel people who buy high-end sneakers, watches, and trading cards will also come into other eBay categories and spend money there too. So that's their justification for that. I myself, of course, am an eBay Motors guy and would love to see them feature eBay Motors. Teresa Webster wrote a long comment, which I've truncated, also about eBay Open. I was hoping to hear something about the updates they've been doing lately. I had 3 past issues this week. Number 1, a man wants to buy a pair of pants and wants to know if they do not fit, can he return them? I tell him yes, I have a 30-day return policy, and I told him to be sure to let them know if they didn't fit right. He pays $8 plus the shipping, and they weigh over a pound. Sure enough, he gets them and he files for the return. He paid about $8 for shipping there and back for an $8 pair of pants. I do not understand the logic. Mathematically speaking, she's saying he paid $16 in shipping to get $8 back. I've said this many times before. It's happened to me as well. It makes no freaking sense. Okay? The last comment I'm going to talk about is about hoarders. And this comment was not made on my eBay video. It was made in one of the Facebook groups that I post in, because I posted about an experience I had last Saturday. I'll tell you about that really quick before I read the comment. I went on a huge sourcing expedition with a friend of mine last Saturday. We went upstate. It was far, okay? It was about an hour and a half each way. My friend discovered this site, this pic, and told me about it and showed me some pictures. And I was very reluctant to go because although the guy had desirable merchandise, I had a feeling he was going to be one of these really old guys who's set in his ways, who doesn't like to deal. In other words, a hoarder. So my friend called the guy ahead of time, and the guy said he wanted a certain amount of money per piece, which was way out of line. So my friend said, if we come up and buy a lot, will you give us a discount? And the guy said he would work with us, but he wasn't sure how much he would work with us. So again, all the warning signs were up, guys. But I said to myself, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to go up. I'll take the day off. I'll go up there, and I'll attempt to make a deal. Because if it works out, I'm going to make money. If it doesn't, I'm going to be very unhappy. So we went up there, and there were these 2 older guys working the place. And it was a freaking mess. The place has been there for about 80 years. So many junk cars, and I have pictures of this, they were actually rotted into the ground. It was pathetic. Truck bodies all over the place, loaded with brake drums, and all kinds of weeds, overgrown buildings. One entire building had imploded upon itself. You couldn't even get in there. I don't know what he's got in there. His warehouse is a freaking mess with a cow path of junk just piled up with 2 inches of dirt on top of everything. It was a real hellhole. But he had a lot of hubs. So what I did was I told him I was going to pick out a large amount and put them in a pile of what I wanted. So I did that. So let's just say I picked out 250 pieces or thereabouts. So what I expected him to do was come out and give me a price for the entire lot. That's how I've always done business. I've never, ever had a person that didn't want to do business that way. This guy came out and said, I'm not doing that. I'm going to count every single solitary piece, and I want X dollars for each piece. I said, how could you charge me X dollars for each piece when you're going to charge X dollars if the guy buys 1 or 2 pieces? And he's telling me that he's had other people up there who came up and bought 200 or 300 pieces and paid the full amount. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I did notice his friend, his partner, had his laptop open and was on eBay the whole entire day listing parts. And we would pick things out, not just hubs, but other things as well. And right away out of his mouth, he would say, well, on eBay, this goes for X dollars. I said, this ain't eBay, I said. You don't have to list anything. You don't have to do any work. I'm doing it all. Give me a price for the whole pile. He absolutely refused to do it. I've never had that happen in my life. And then he starts getting a little lippy with me. He said, I told your friend on the phone I wanted X dollars per piece. I want X dollars per piece, and that's what it's going to be. So I had 250 pieces piled out. No way am I paying X dollars when I'm taking 250 pieces. And they weren't all cherry pieces. A lot of them were dented and damaged, although I know I could refurbish them and still sell them. So I put back a good amount. I bought about 100 pieces from the guy, and he charged me the price he said he was going to charge me. Now, I'm not saying that I got ripped off or I paid too much. What I am saying is that I wasn't treated the way I'm used to being treated. I'm used to having a big pile and given a bulk price. That's the way business is done. This guy's operating like it's 1945 or something. But the pieces that I did take, I'm definitely making money on, and I've already sold several of them. So, I'm still making money, don't get me wrong. But it pains me. It pains me to see how this guy operates. My friend picked out a bunch of parts, grills, and a few other things, steering wheels. And whatever he picked out, the guy wanted top dollar for and claimed he wanted that part. Oh, I didn't think you were going to take that. I want that. I had that put aside. Meanwhile, the thing's freaking buried under a stack of garbage. There's no way the guy probably even knew it was there. So, let me read this comment about hoarders that was written in on my post on Facebook. Yup, there are lots of them out there. My brother has 4 or 5 junk cars in his backyard that are worth a fortune once he gets them fixed up. Right now, his doctors have told him he probably has less than a year to live. He's a heavy smoker and still won't quit. Another guy I met had a couple of 1,000 cloth shopping bags that I bought a few from him to donate to local charities, and I wanted to buy the rest, but he wouldn't budge. He got evicted from his hoarder's nest, and the city came by with a dump truck and took everything to the city dump. One of my neighbors has a garage sale. His garage is completely filled to the roof with boxes of his stuff, but his wife wouldn't let him touch any of it, and he could only sell his stuff. The example of the guy who wouldn't dicker on the price and deal with my friend here, only to have the city come in with a dump truck and throw all his junk away in the dump, that kind of thing makes me want to throw up blood. I don't know how people can be like that. I honestly don't know it. I've been in sales all my life. I've been in retail all my life. Every job I've ever worked in was dealing with the public. Whether it was fast food restaurant, supermarket, junkyard, right here, I deal with the public. Okay? don't know how people can be so greedy and nasty like that. It turns my stomach. I will say one thing, and I don't want anybody hating on me for this, but it's something that I have seen. And if anybody thinks I'm wrong, you talk to me. Every time I've encountered one of these hoarders, one of these nasty, unfriendly, greedy people, it's always been somebody older. Okay? I'm just calling it the way I see it. I've never seen a 20-something or 30-something or anybody like that ever act that way. But I'd like your opinion on dealing with hoarders. And tell me some of your life experiences. I'd like all of you to tell me at least one story, if applicable, where you tried to buy stuff from one of these hoarders, he refused to deal with you, and the stuff got thrown out or taken away by the city to the dump. Anything you have like that, I'd love to hear. Next thing I want to talk about is a return that I declined. Not a return, a cancellation that I declined last week. Before I do that, let me just stop and take a quick drink from the ceremonial Fox News Cup of Life. This is the ceremonial Fox News Cup of Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. By the way, it is sunny out now. This week we've had 3 days where it was sunny like this, but then when it got to be 5 o'clock, the clouds moved in and the skies opened and it just deluged like you wouldn't believe. Rain, rain, and nothing but rain, thunder and lightning. And that's what we're predicted again today. But let me tell you my story about the alloy wheel center caps from last week. To rehash, what happened is a guy bought 2 alloy wheel center caps from me on eBay. I waited approximately 2 hours, printed the label, boxed the item. As soon as I printed the label, he sends me a request to cancel. He said his tire shop lost his items, or broke them, whatever, and that he went ahead and bought them, and then they told him they were going to go ahead and get them. Not to get them. Maybe they said they could get them cheaper, or maybe he found them cheaper, I don't know, but I refused to cancel. I said, absolutely no cancellations. I said, if you want to return them on your dime, you're more than welcome to do it. I take 30-day returns. And he said to me, all right, tell me the return procedure. I said, no. I said, I'm not telling you anything right now. Wait till you get the items. Upon receipt, contact me and I'll be glad to walk you through it. And let me stipulate, this person had 0 feedback and joined eBay specifically to buy my items. How many times has that happened? I shipped the items off the next day like I said I would. Guess what he wrote back to me? Correct. Nothing. He never got back to me. Because I theorized, and I figured this from the very beginning, I bet he got the caps from me and then started thinking and said, wait a minute. I paid $9.50 to get these. I'm going to have to pay another $9.50. That's $19. I'm just going to keep these. I'm going to go to the tire shop, present the packing slip to the boss, and get reimbursed because the tire shop did promise to reimburse him. That's how it's done here. I can't tell you how many times local customers come in and say, the tire shop damaged my alloy wheel caps. They're going to pay for them. But they told me to get a receipt from you, I'll lay the money out, and I'll recoup it from them. That is the way it's done in business. Okay? That's what happened. Now, I'm not sure if this guy was trying to pull a fast one and found them cheaper. Maybe eBay showed them him cheaper from another seller. Or maybe the tire shop wanted to pay less. But I theorized when he started thinking about it, he said, I'm going to lose $19 here. Why should I lose $19 when the tire shop is at fault? So the moral of the story is, guys, don't accept cancellations. Except in extreme circumstances where the buyer maybe made a mistake and is willing to buy another item from you, or is going to reimburse you for your fees, or if you made the mistake. You know, again, that's my advice. That's all I can do is give you advice. All right? Please, I hope this is a good teaching tool, and I hope you learn from it. I know there's a few of you guys, and I'm pretty sure Dennis Copper is one, that have had numerous people attempted to cancel, and that he's never canceled a single one, and he's never received one back. And let me tell you something, guys, that is the truth. All right? Thank you for watching my video, guys. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Every Friday, I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you stay successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job today, tell me in the comment section what you'd like me to hit up, and I'll be more than happy to try and do it next week. Remember, guys, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems. I'm still making money online. I've never worn a mask on my videos, and I never will. I've never distorted my voice because I feel that's dishonest and unscrupulous. So heck yeah, I'm a CEO and a CFO of my own company. That being said, go out there, make a ton of money on eBay, rock on, and peace! Sales this week were excellent. I have no complaints whatsoever. I had one day that was kind of slow, but the other days more than made up for it. I had one day that was just a gift from the heavens. It's the kind of day where, cha-ching, you get a shipping order, you're boxing it up, and as you're boxing it up, cha-ching, cha-ching, two more come in back to back, and you can never catch up. I'm telling you guys, there's money to be made on eBay. Thanks. Go out there, make a ton of sales, guys. I hope you all do great. And for the love of God, don't be bitchy!